Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I want to show you how to find the center and the radius of a circle by completing the square of a general form equation. Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Franck, and if you have not done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel to get more content like this. Today I want to show you guys how to find the radius and the center of a circle given the general equation for the circle. And to do that, we're going to have to complete the square. And so you already know from my previous note that the standard form for the equation of a circle is given as x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared, where the point of coordinate hk is the center and r here represents the radius. Well, the equation of a circle can also be given in its general form, which is usually given as x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equals 0. Now, the issue with this form is that you cannot clearly see what the center of the circle is or what the radius is. So it's harder if you were to, for instance, draw the circle to know what the circle will look like just by looking at the equation. So in this note, I want to show you how to go from the general form of the equation to the standard form where you can read out the center and the radius easily. So the first example that I have here is going to be x squared plus y squared plus 6x plus 2y plus 6 equal to 0. So when you have something like this, the first thing you need to do is group the x's together and the y together, because you're going to have to complete this squared in order to write your equation in standard form. So I'm going to have here x squared plus 6x, and then I'm going to have y squared plus 2y, and on the other side, I'm just going to send the 6 over as negative 6. Next, I have to compute the square for the variable x and for the variable y. Now, if you need a refresher on how to compute the square, check out my note 14, where I talk about that in detail. So to do that here, I'm going to look at the non-squared term of the variable, so the 6x. I'm going to take 6 here, divided by 2, and then square it. So if I do that here, I'm going to get x squared plus 6x plus 9, because 9 is 6 divided by 2, 3, squared 9. And for y, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm looking at 2y here. So I'm going to have y squared plus 2y plus 2 divided by 2 is 1, square that is still 1. That will equal to negative 6, and then whatever you added on the other side, you would add on this side as well, because whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. That's the rule of equations. And so you're going to have here as well, plus 9 and plus 1. Finally, you can look at these three first terms here and say that these three terms are going to be the perfect square x plus 3. So we're going to have here x plus 3 squared. And the reason it's a 3 here is because this 3 comes from 6 over 2. For the y here, since 2 divided by 2 is 1, I'm going to have y plus 1 all the way squared. And on the other side, negative 6 plus 9 plus 1 is going to give me 4. So from here, I can read out exactly what my center and my radius are. And so remember, the center here is of coordinate hk. And so you have to mind the negative sign right here and here. So when reading of the center's coordinate, you have to take the opposite of what you have next to x and y. And so my center here is going to be of coordinate negative 3 and negative 1. Also, keep in mind that on the right side here, we have r squared. So our radius here is not going to be 4, but instead, since 4 is equal to 2 squared, our radius would be just 2. And that will be done for that one. Okay, let me give you another example so we can make this sink in. So if I gave you x squared minus 2x plus y minus 15 equal to 0, how would you find the center and radius? Well, we will do it the exact same way we did before. So we're going to isolate the x here on this side, x squared minus 2x, and then the y squared, and then sending the 15 on the other side, we're going to have equals 15. Now for the x here, if I look at negative 2, attached to the x here, I'm going to divide it by 2. That's going to give me negative 1. And then if I square it, I get 1. And so my expression here is going to become x squared negative 2x plus 1. And for the y here, since I don't have any y term that I would square attached to it, this is going to be just done. It's going to be just the y squared by itself. And we don't need to do anything there because it's already a perfect square. So I'm going to have that equal to 15 plus 1 to balance out my equation from the one I put on the other side. And so these first three terms here are going to give me x minus 1 squared plus y squared equals to 16. And 16 here is just 4 squared. Finally, I can read off that my center is going to be the point of coordinate 1, 0, because there's nothing minusing the y here. So this y is basically just the same as y minus 0 all the way squared. And my radius is going to be r equals to 4. And so if you were to draft this particular circle, let me just show you how you would do it here. So if you have your plane here, xy plane, the first thing you should do here is just put your center, point of coordinate 1, 0, and then you have to draw a circle around the center of radius 4, and you will be done. That will be the draft representing this particular circle, represented by this particular general equation. All right, so let me give you one last interesting example. So I'm going to have here 4x squared plus 4y squared plus 12x plus 20y plus 9 equal to 0. Okay, now first thing first, we have numbers here in front of x squared and in front of y squared. That shouldn't scare you. The only thing you should be making sure of is that those numbers in front of x squared and y squared are the exact same. If those numbers are the exact same and they have the same sign, then there's no worry. This is actually representing a circle. On the other hand, if the numbers are different, this could be an ellipse. And if the signs are different, this equation could be representing a hyperbola. But lucky for us, these numbers are the same and have the same sign. And so when that happens, the first thing we have to do here is divide the whole equation by that number. So we're going to divide this whole equation by 4, or multiply by 1 over 4. That's the same thing. And so that's going to give me x squared plus y squared plus 3x plus 5y plus 9 over 4 equals to 0. Then I'm just going to go and do the exact same thing I did before. I'm going to put the x on one side here, x squared plus 3x. Then I'm going to put the y on one side here, y squared plus 5y. And that's going to be equal to, sending 9 over 4 on the other side, it's going to be negative 9 over 4. Finally, I can go ahead and complete the square for both x and y. And so the missing number here for x is going to be 3 over 2 squared, which is going to be 9/4. So I'm going to have here x squared plus 3x plus 9/4. And the missing number for the y here is going to be 5 over 2 squared. So that's going to be 25 over 4. So I'm going to have here y squared plus 5y plus 25 over 4. And that's going to be equal to negative 9 over 4 plus 9 over 4 plus 25 over 4 to balance out my equation. The three first terms here are going to just be x plus 3 over 2 squared, because that's the middle term's coefficients here, divided by 2. And then for y here, I'm going to have y plus 5 over 2 squared, because 5 is the middle term's coefficient here. And all of that is going to be equal to 9 over 4 and 9 over 4 here are going to cancel, and you're going to have 25 over 4, which is equal to 5 over 2 all the way squared. And so with that, I can simply read out what my center is and what my radius is. So I'm going to have the center here equals to negative 3 over 2, comma, negative 5 over 2. And the radius is going to be equal to 5 divided by 2. And so with that, we are done. And so if you like the way I break down the material, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.